After years of innovation, we can finally push the boundaries of technology. We can make our own reality to explore, to adventure in, to conquest. We can now enter virtual reality. VR, or virtual reality, is a rather new technological breakthrough when it comes to immersive experiences, and more recently, immersive gaming experiences. The history of it goes deeper than I ever thought it would, and it's interesting enough to make its own video, but for now, I'll just review the highlights and the commercial successes. So where does this all begin? For the sake of discussion, let's skip over all the early attempts of VR, because they look kinda creepy. The first VR commercial release was the Sega VR for the Sega Genesis in 1991. The early 90s was a bit too early for home VR hardware, especially on this piece of junk. Nonetheless, it was able to track 2 degrees of movement.
Wow!
But apparently each tracking unit only costed a couple dollars, which kept the MSRP down.
It used a magnetometer to detect azimuth relative to the Earth's magnetic field and an optical sensor measuring the refraction of light at the boundary of a gas and fluid to detect tilt.
Sure. Actually, no, not sure, because it never released. Due to reports that the system caused major motion sickness and headaches, the project was cancelled for a commercial release. But since it's Sega, they had to say that the system was too realistic and caused people to move around too much and get injured, which is just so silly. Oh my gosh, these graphics are so realistic! A little too realistic. From the Sega VR, the technology was used in later projects like the VR1, which was an indoor amusement park experience that was installed publicly for the first time in July 1994 at the indoor amusement park
Yokohama Joypolis
in Japan. The tech was also used in a collaboration with Virtuality, a VR arcade machine that strapped you into a glorified immobile baby walker with an even bigger toaster strapped to your head. It kinda looks like the VR machines you see at arcades today. But everything changed for the better in 1995 with the release of Nintendo's runaway success, the Virtual Boy. Gunpei Yokoi, the lead developer of the Virtual Boy project, was known to be an innovator at Nintendo and was also the lead developer for 1989's Game Boy, Nintendo's first cartridge-based handheld console. But in trying to take those same concepts of cost-cutting and basic design that worked well for the handheld from the same era as the NES, didn't translate well to VR. Like the original Game Boy, the Virtual Boy had 2 colors. The Game Boy had puke green and black, while the Virtual Boy had nosebleed red and black. This simple setup worked well for the handheld, but for the first value VR product, this wouldn't cut it. Oh, don't worry, there's more. So Nintendo, I had a great idea for a VR system to fill the gap between the Nintendo 64 and the Super Nintendo.
Well, yeah, I'd love to hear it, but I mean, obviously you have to cut down a lot of stuff to keep this, a value product.
Alright, well, we were thinking of having a full motion tracking.
Whoa there, bucko. Way too expensive. Plus, we'd get sued. How about we just put it on chicken legs?
Okay. And we want to have a full color display.
Full color? That would be $500. How about this? Just red. Just red.
How is that even gonna work?
You get 32 bits and you'll be able to make it run on full battery. And we'll give them a link cable that we'll never use because we'll just discontinue the product after about a year.
I feel like no one's gonna want this product.
You idiot! This product will be perfect. We'll never be able to recover from such a success! Dang it.
I was right!
You're fired!
After the failure of the Virtual Boy and its efforts to outsell the country of Bhutan and Trump, a bit of a dark age began for VR. Because from 1995 to 2012, there was not many commercial outings of VR. It was more time of innovation, expanding the technology to make it feasible and cheap enough for personal ownership. Until then, it was more of a novel item you'd use at an amusement park instead of something that you can use every day like VR is today. Everything changed in 2013 with the arrival of the Oculus Rift DK1 HD at E3, where it boasted a 90-degree field of vision and functional rotational tracking. This type of technology for the consumer market was unparalleled, never to have happened at such an affordable price. But when a McDonald's pops up shop, a Burger King is never too far away. Of course there's competition in the VR market. With so much money to be made, there's at least 4 hands in the cookie jar. There has been a clear race between companies like Facebook, Valve, and HP in trying to capitalize on the VR market ever since Oculus proved the medium possible for the commercial market. In 2014, Facebook bought Oculus for $3 billion. That's like half the world's population. Alright everyone, if we just give me one measly dollar from each of you, then we can buy 2 2/3 Oculuses. Oh, come on guys, it's just $1. But if you look at the dates and make some inferences, you can see that Facebook really jumped on the VR market as soon as it was proven possible. Only a year after the Oculus Rift DK1 was released did Facebook purchase the company. They saw a product proving itself over on Kickstarter and scooped it up, which now we can see was a great idea. Their biggest products, the Quest 1 and 2, cumulatively sold 38 million copies. If each product was $250, they made $9.5 billion. So now that $3 billion isn't as crazy. I was right, suckers! I have no oxygen. And when Facebook had the guts to slap $3 billion on the line for VR, the world took note. By March 2016, the Oculus Rift released onto the market, and it changed everything. From this point on, VR was now in the hands of the consumers. And with Valve's discovery of low persistence displays, which made lag-free and smear-free displays of VR content possible, new headsets started shooting out onto the market. Oculus Rift and Rift S, HTC Vive, PlayStation VR, Valve Index, Oculus Quest 1, 2, and 3, HP Reverb G2. There's so many new headsets and so many options to buy. And that's where my story begins. On Christmas 2020, I got the Rift S. I picked him on the competition because it was a budget option that worked with my new PC that I had just built for VR. For months, I had been waiting for the day that my VR headset could come and I could finally play... Thanks, Facebook. After I got it working. But once I did, it was a dream come true. I had so many different games to play. Like popular block hitting game with weird music. And Crab Rave. Medieval physics fighting game. With funny mods.
Can't even get through my shield, I bet you. Oh my god, it goes through my shield.
Same as the medieval one, but with John Wick instead. Climbing. Boxing.
Just flow around it.
After a while, my Rift S started having technical issues and I wanted an upgrade. Better frames, better field of view, more realistic visuals. I was ready to buy... Never mind, I'll just get the Quest. My Quest 2 was a bit of a risky buy. I wanted to buy something that I could still use my PC with, but I also envied my friends who had cordless headsets with basically unlimited freedom of movement. But I also already built up a full library of Steam games to play, so I needed something in between. That's when I found out about the link cable. Basically, it turns your Quest headset into a better Rift S, where when you plug in your headset, you can play all of your Steam games. But for $80? Well, I guess I have to buy it. Alright. Alright. Thanks, Facebook. Alright, well, I guess we'll return this, and we'll buy this cheap third-party one. I bet it won't even work. It's like a fraction of the price. You gotta be kidding me.
Harness the power of computer VR with this garbage product.
Garbage.
This $80 junk will not only use more than all your spending money for the month, it'll also give you buyer's remorse, a hunger to hurt another, and cause you to experience the 5 levels of grief. But don't worry, acceptance always comes around and you'll be buying the Elite Strap. Call now and we'll personally come to your house and rob you and run away with all your hopes and dreams and your retirement funds. Oculus. We hate you. Give us your money.
Yeah, for some reason the whole community agrees that the company Kiwi makes better accessories for the Quest than the company that makes the Quest. Whatever, I love this headset, it was awesome. When it worked. That was a big caveat. Because it was a third-party product and I was streaming quality graphics through a USB, when I played more demanding games it would crash frequently. It was really hard to get immersed in war when I kept getting booted to the Oculus living room. Like I went from the trenches of Normandy to... I was getting tired of it. I also never used the headset as a wireless device, so its use as a Quest was kind of gone. I wanted an upgrade. So, I sold it to my friend for a fraction of the price that I bought it for and ripped myself off. At least Ale's happy. Oh, and my old Rift S, the cord got ripped out of place, or so I thought, and I gave it to my girlfriend's brother, saying that if he fixed it, it was all his. The cord was barely unplugged. I got ripped off again. At least Ale's happy. For Christmas 2022, I got the Valve Index. This is the best headset I've gotten, by far. It has these base stations that watch your movement for more accurate tracking. The controllers have more bells and whistles and grip sensors so you can hold on things and let go of them in VR. The helmet has a counterweight design and more comfortable padding so it doesn't give you a headache from it squeezing your head, and overall it's just a better quality product. Speaking of the straps, how did Oculus get away with making the Quest 2's headset have literal fabric straps as the base package, charging you $60 to $120 to upgrade to something a little more comfortable? At that point, you might as well check if the company Kiwi has made a strap for the Oculus Quest. Oh wait, they did! What is with Oculus? Charging a ridiculous amount of money on literally everything they sell when everyone just buys the third-party accessories because they're better quality and more cost-effective. It doesn't make any sense.
It'd be $250.
I know, buddy. You've been saying that for the past hour.
$250 bajillion.
Someone call us therapist again.
To wrap things up, because this script is pushing 5 pages, I love VR. It's always been an exciting facet of digital media that allows me to be whatever I want to be. I could be a special agent, or a parkourist, or whatever they're called, a zombie apocalypse survivor. All these impossible dreams, now made possible because I spent $1,000. And next time, hopefully we can go over these games and talk about the histories of them and my opinion of them. But I think that's it for now. This video has gotten way bigger than I ever expected it to be, and it's become such a fun project to work on, and it kinda needs to end. So yeah, I'm a VR guy.